はい、なんかわけわからんゲーム、Steam で72円で買ったんで、やります。さあ、オンラインアルティプピン、オフライン、なんじゃ、ストーリーモード。さかなクンこんちゃ。ストーリーモードどうやってスタートするんですか？どうやってスタートするのこれ。わからん。Don't have any friends。フレンドいません。はい。ミュージックでかいっすね。クリアンロックキーボードクエリティ。どんなゲームかわからへん。ショーコントロール見よう。WASD 進めるやん。こっちで10時。はい。行きましょう。ニューゲーム。やっば、これ。気色悪。Go to the left。Go to the right。やばいやばいこれ。Go to the top。Go to the down。ノック。やばこのゲーム。プレス eat the。やばこれ。キモすぎるー。キモすぎるよー。どうやって食べんのこれ。Eat another apple。どうやって食べたん俺。なんか潰しちゃった。Eat another apple。食べたい。なんかしょんべんでと。気色悪い。誰が買うねん、こんなゲーム。どうやって食べるん？これ何これ。早っ。ふにゃふにゃやな。そんで。わからへんやり方。どうやって食べるの？ Eat the another apple。お、食べた。そっちから食うんかい、そんで。Press A to go to the sandbox。はい。砂場入りました。何？ No one will ever love you。友達来た。えぐ。強っ。ほんで。えぐ。全然仲良くできひん。俺嫌われてる。きっしょ、このゲーム。きっしょ。ちょっと待って、きっしょ。
John woke to the shrill cry of his alarm clock and lay there, rigid, his usual morning condition. But there was another reason John couldn't get out of
この
bed.
ゲーム。
It was the weight. A weight that had
起きろ。
nothing to do with his muscles or fat or sweaty blankets. John was weighed down by a
全
piece
然
of
何とかわか
paper.
らん。
The invitation to his high
降り
school
ろやい。
reunion. From across the years, the words he'd
止めて。
heard in the schoolyard were still clear. You're a loser.
失礼した。
No one will ever love you.
3 months until きしょいやつ。これ何かわかる？これ何かわかる？ちなみに。
John needed to shower and wash off the sweaty
Get ready
stink
for
of
walk.
desperate
Get
sadness.
clean. ブラッシュスチーム。クリーン。あ、これでな。洗ってますよと。ブラッシュスチーム。ブラッシュスチーム。これ？ちょっとわかりませんね。チーム。シース。なんて書いてあるの？英語わからんねん。ケツに刺さった。あ、歯ブラシしと。そういうことか。歯ブラシ？そっちなん基本的に体は。
John had 3 months until the reunion to turn his
うわ、な
life
んかケツ刺
around.
さった。
First, he needed to clean up.
何
John called it his
Data.
study, but it was basically for
Data.
games and porn. Mostly porn.
クリーンディッシュ。えぐいってなんか食うねんけどこいつ。Take care of leftovers. クリーンディッシュ。なんかをきれいにせなあかんの。ああ。うめえ。お、なんか食った。ペイン、痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。ハングリー、ハンガー。食うてもたかな。あ、え？どうすんのマジで。
The only reason he'd ordered so much
Oi,
takeout was
that's a
because
hunger.
Delilah, the
Hunger,
delivery
that's a-
peen, made John feel butterflies
cool,
in his
yeah.
testicles.
どうしたらいいかわからへんて。クリーンディッシーズ。ディッシーズって何？燃えるんちゃうんけ？大丈夫？どっか行っちゃったけども。
John had left his apartment late, but if he caught the express bus, he might make it to work on time. John didn't really like his job, but it had two qualities in its favor. One, he could pay his rent, and two, Barbara. Currently John's top candidate for his reunion
ゴキ
date.
ブリの倒し方がわからん。どっちが前なんちゃうやろこっちやろ前。なんか食ったなんか食ったキャッチバス。
John
バスあここ
noticed
か
a moderately attractive peen
Ui.
waiting at the stop. He tried to start a conversation and did not get the reaction he'd hoped for.
いや光る
It was
光る
probably because he was a minimum wage peen. She could probably sense it.
あ光るとうんこ出したぞ。
The
Right,
office
nice.
hummed with cold
Office ka na?
fluorescent lighting. The air was
Fresh,
cold and stale,
cold.
lifeless. How long had John worked here? Long enough to deserve better.
邪魔邪魔邪魔。なんやねんお前ら。 きっしょ。
John was late, but he felt daring.
マ
He
ジで
could
なんなん
sneak
この
into
ゲ
the
ーム。フレッ
office
シュ
through
ク
the
ロ。
archives, or he could
Yeah.
stroll through the front entrance with enough
Oi,
confidence to bluff his boss. Predictably, he chose the direct
お
route.
れおれおれ。バリ必死仕事するやん。やすさんこんちゃ。学校？これ学校なん？職員室ほんでこれ。会社じゃないん？えぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいえぐいえぐい。きっしょ。マジきしょいねんけど。えぐ。やっぱオフィスや仕
Everyone
事し
else
とる。
was hard at work,
なんだこいつこんな仕事
grinding
しないの？
away. John might actually get away with this. The boss. He honed in on John, deluging
びっ
him
くり
with
マークめっちゃ
spit
つい
and
た。なに
buzzwords.
なになに？
The boss ran out of synonyms for John's failings and gave him an ultimatum.
犬かどうでしょうか。
Barbara would
よく見てください。
definitely not be interested in dating John if he
よく
was
見てください、こ
unemployed.
れは。
He had to get to the quality assurance department.
なんか、これ、運ばれるんこれ。
There might be a faulty
出たこれ。
dildo just waiting to cost the company millions in lawsuits.
なんなんこれ、
John
ケ
would
ツ
have
刺さ
to
るや
test
つ。
them all. Every atom of John's rectum began to
Quality and
vibrate
test
with the
all
frequencies
that
of pure pleasure.
Be
His
this.
orifice was a paradise.
Test all
This
50もあると。
vibrator would end all wars. It was good.
どうしたらいいんよ。何？エグー。
That one was good too.
何を？これをケツの中入れたいね。
The prostate pounder X900 series, the most advanced vibrator on the market.
やばいやばいやばいやばい。
Sweet mother of no, John, that's too much pleasure for one anus to handle.
やばいやばい、死ぬ。意味がわからない。きしょいって。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。大荒れ大荒れ大荒れ。みんなバリびっくりした。何ファースト ID
John's butt hurt, but
AID
his heart was proud.
ス
If that
ソー
vibe
ス
had gotten out into the world, it could have injured a
なんちゃら
customer as badly as it
ア
had
プリバン
ravaged
ド
his anus.
わからん。誰か来た。
The boss arrived and congratulated
メガネなくした、
John
メガネな
on
くした。
taking one for the team and jumping on the hand grenade, or in this case,
メガネ
putting it up his butt.
噛んであげたいけど。
John was having trouble following the conversation because he was quite high on suppository painkillers.
どうやるかわからん。
And then the boss said it. Promotion. Finally, the company was recognizing John's hard work and ignoring his minor faults like lack of talent, constant lateness, and
何を
flatulence.
どっか行ったし。何したいかわからへん。
John's new office smelled like polished wood and
Make
success.
the space your own.
John's success.
私のスペースを作る。
Sam dropped by. He'd heard
Sam,
John had been hurt.
ごめん、ちびんなよ。
John
そんな
said
とこ
he
で
was fine. He wasn't a softie to complain about a mildly ruptured rectum. Besides, he had a promotion to
なんでバツなの？
celebrate.
あ、バンドエイド買っ
John
た
had
ん
met Sam in college
サッカーや。
during a sports ball game. He'd given him some stiff competition. Not
オン
stiff
ゴールしたん
enough.
よ、こいつ。
They'd started at Flesh
Quiet.
Corp product testing together. Nothing
Doesn't-
builds a
doesn't.
friendship like a long day of dildo
Oh.
mounting. Yes, John had known Sam for a
こうやっ
while,
て
but John couldn't hang out with Sam. He had a reunion to prepare for. He was going out with Barbara tonight. He just had to ask her.
何これ。音出るか。
Everyone was quiet, listening to the
なんか会議してる
presentation.
で。
A good moment for John to ask Barbara out.
おれい、アスクブラブラアウト。
Emma. That's not Barbara,
こ
John.
れでどっから出るかわから
Barbara
んよ。
agreed. Well, she nodded. Sort of.
尋ねる
Things
と
were
誰かに
really
何かを
going
尋ねる。
John's way. John tried to act as suave as possible and listen to Barbara talk
何
business.
しとんねん。
He didn't want to blow his chances at long-term love
めっちゃ
and
肉持ってきた。
short-term sex.
食べるぞ。
Barbara began to talk about monthly feedback figures, and John started to zone
食べ
out,
るぞ。
imagining him and Barbara at the reunion, a power couple. She would make his classmates sick with envy
飯持ってこ
if he
い。
could get her to tone down the boring chatter. John's balls were gripped by
これ
certainty.
は
Barbara was the perfect
こう
date
して
for
る
the
けども
reunion.
何してんの君。
John thought he would impress Barbara by going behind the bar
What?
and showing the bartender a thing or two. Despite Barbara's protests that it was unnecessary, John knew that a true gentleman should follow her home. He was
あ、
excited.
なるほど。これ
There
で
was still
反転でき
3
るんや。
months until the reunion, and he'd already landed his perfect
話
date.
し相手漏らしてたな。
All he had to do was seal the deal.
ゲームプラン。ウォークバラバラホーム。ゲームプラン。
Barbara thanked John for the evening and politely did not invite him inside for coffee
なんか
or
出そう。
sex, even though John had dropped some
Apple's,
pretty obvious hints he'd be into both, or just
Yeah,
sex.
yeah.
The door slammed on John's hopes. He
Yeah.
didn't understand. He'd laughed at all Barbara's pie chart jokes. He'd listened to her boring stories.
どういうこ
The
とよ。
blank eyes of the lawn flamingos were witnesses to John's shame.
こっちか家。うん。よし。なんもない。なんもないよ。こっちもなんもないね。うえブリッうえいっぱい出た。ダメだ、違うところ行こう。鳥も
John
Shut
began the
up.
lonely
Poco
walk
orange
home, thoughts tumbling like shoes in a
Alright.
dryer. He had done everything wrong.
登られへん。
Barbara had led him on just to humiliate him. John felt empty. How could he get love?
Feeling empty.
He felt like he was missing
Tension points.
something, some key to attracting sex. But John was shooting blanks. What did
Something
teens want?
missing. 犬は普通やな。あのやつ漏らしてた。ビビ
Then
っ
it
た
hit
か俺
John
に。
out of nowhere.
Need more
Stuff.
stuff?
He had the success. He just needed to show it off. But where was John going to get all the stuff he
もっと英
wanted?
語勉強しとけばよか
John
った。
needed a sign.
多分なんか言ってくれてんやろな、ずっと。何言うとか全
A
然わからん
new
けど。
day, a new John. He waited outside his local buttload
ATM.
store for it to open, eager to spend his promotion bonus on
入ったで
stuff.
体。
the best way to impress women.
昼寝終わって配信見に来たらこれ。おかえりくにさん。なんか変なゲームやってます。Steam で70円で買ったゲーム。何かわかりますか？
There's nothing like a rectum full of money to make a peen feel like a man.
ジジイ死んでる。絶対入んねんこれ。入るむずすぎやろこれ。こうか。来た来た。むずっ。やばい。肩。挟まるやん。じじいどうすんの？おい。ゴーなんちゃらターンスタイル。これを入るやろ。あ、いけた。
Suddenly it occurred to John that he was going to make a lot of choices. And every one of those choices would tell the world who he was.
何これ。
Did he want cheese or sausage?
食べていいんですか？
Delicious.
食うで。
Just so Moorish.
食うで。
Also delicious. How could
ブヒャー言う
John
てもとや。
decide?
うえ。でっけ。
Maybe one more.
かいうんち。
What would a date think
now.
when they sat in John's home? Comfort or style?
なんか金ばらまいた。
John went with comfort. Plus, it matched the couch he already had.
さっきのやつめっちゃもらえた。
John weighed up all the differences, but this was a tough
くだ
choice.
さいこれ。
Something told John this was the TV for him.
おれー。全部購入じゃ。
John chose the
Yeah.
extremely, obviously bad
これ
TV.
ばらまいた。こっちがいい。
John realized that it was
なるほど。
only 2
加えた
months
らお
and
金を出す。
29 days until the reunion.
2 months and
Time
29 days.
flies.
サボテンや。
Cactus or
長い
rose?
サボテン。
Was
刺さる
John
か
a
ら
rugged hero or a
Hey.
romantic poet? If John
Those
grew
are-
his own flowers, then he'd save on romantic gestures in the long run.
缶オケ？俺死ぬん？
There was nothing John could take with him to the grave.
えぐ。どっちでもいいけど、安くでええで別に。
Except his coffin.
ピザ
John
だ。
liked to get his pizza delivered. That way he could see
Tabero.
Delilah, the delivery peen. She always made him smile.
おいおい。食え食え。いけ。
Delilah thought pineapple on pizza
Eh?
was gross. This way, she would never know John's shameful tastes. What
Sabi-sabi,
bedding
Fortnite
would
yung
Delilah
game
prefer? John couldn't help
こ
wondering.
っちがいい。ピザがいい。
Pizza sheets would show her that
Right,
John
those
could also deliver in bed. Devoid of
Okay.
any sense of style, buying new clothes would be John's toughest challenge.
Wait.
He bought an outfit without trying it
金
on.
持ちやな。
It was a hula skirt. I thought you should
Sunglasses
know
つけた。
that much. It's not flattering. Music,
めっちゃ買わせる
the
やん。
food of love.
レコードがい
Should
い。
John go retro sophisticated or just retro?
ほい。
John was sure he could just pirate extra
今日
records.
コンビニでトイレ借りた
Every
時に
can was made of metal,
なんかコンビニの
pulled
店員
from
さ
the
んがすご
bones
くい
of
い
the
人そうや
earth,
ったから
wrestled to the surface, and smelted in
雑誌買って書いたわ。
roaring furnaces. Also, John could buy peas preserved in salty water and stick them up his butt. John's new purchases were on the way to his apartment. All he had to do was invite a date over. One look at all his stuff, and they'd be overwhelmed with sexual desire. John felt proud. And also hungry.
持って帰んの？
It gave him an idea. He should invite Delilah over for dinner.
お
John was
家に全
excited.
部来た。
Delilah was on her way. He
Yeah.
just needed to set the mood to romance.
お、レコードある。セットザも、うん。あ、そういうこと。お、ナイス。キャンドル、キャンドル。どうしたらいいん？ついた、ひっついた。買いすぎじゃない？わからん。なんか全部買わなあかんのかなと思って。買っちゃったよ。パパパパイナポーパパパパイナポキャンドルつかへん。よし。
Classy.
お、なんか、そういうパターン。おい。はい。キャッターローズ。ローズをどうしよ
John
うと。
hoped she didn't have allergies.
誰か来た。
That must be Delilah at the door. The door
Wait, a
opened
pizza.
and there was Delilah.
ピザを届け。
John gulped down his nerves and invited her in.
帰れお前。
John could tell that Delilah was impressed by his stuff.
出て、おらおら、
It
出
was
てい
time
け、
to
出ていけ、
crank
出てい
up
け、
the
出てい
mood
け。
to seduction.
俺が一人で食うねん。さあ、どうやって開けんねん、これ。どういう開け方？わからへん。あれこれどうやってオープン、オフなワイン。ワイン？あ、友達？おい！全部割れた。むずっ。
John wanted to offer Delilah
いや、
wine,
むずい
but
や
he'd
ろ。
already popped his cork. Delilah
Wine
started
を継い
looking
だら
as
なあかんか
nervous
った
as
よな、
John
多分。
felt. He assumed it was
友達や。
because she was shy too. They really were compatible. Of course, at the reunion, he couldn't
この
mention
ゲームに
Delilah
必
was a
勝法ある。
delivery
教えて
pin.
ください、ぜ
That
ひと
would
も。
be embarrassing. Delilah
いいえや
suddenly
ね。
headed for the door.
いいえ。
John hadn't even paid. And just like that, John was alone again. Delilah hadn't even looked at his stuff. Not even the pizza
なんか喋って
bedspread.
あるけども。帰れ。
The rejection burned.
Tomodachi,
John
I don't
felt
have.
insignificant. He had everything he wanted. The job, the money, the stuff. So much stuff.
Destroy it
He
all.
wanted to
Destroy it all.
shove it into the
どういうこ
abyss.
と？
His stuff didn't matter. He
Destroy
was a
it
shaft in
all.
the machine. A lonely piston pumping away like all the others in his rigid place. Nothing special about him.
出たんや。
Why should Delilah or Barbara or any other peen be interested in dating him? He was just like everyone else and they could tell. John wanted to be special, but he had to
あ、
face
ベッ
the
ド
numb
届いてる。
truth. He wasn't. And all the
めっ
money
ちゃ
and
ピザある
stuff
し、
he'd
ここ。
ever accumulate wouldn't change that. He thought it would make him unique, but it just made him more like everyone
食
else.
べる。
He should leave it all. Get out of this little town and go on an adventure. See the world. He was a boring corporate drone, but he didn't have to be. He could be a traveler, exploring jungles and climbing mountains. He could visit the wonders of the world and get his picture taken. Like Peony Island, the unspoiled paradise he'd seen on TV. That was it. John had to travel. Bags packed. John was ready to put 5,000 miles between him and his problems.
はい。
He was leaving it all behind.
チェックイン。はい。あ、すいません。どうする？はい。おい、オッケー。俺が乗ってく
John
ん
was
か
so
い。
close, he could almost smell the freedom of the skies.
Your
Security
flight
sent John
empty
back through
pockets.
the detector.
えぐいえぐいえぐい。何こいつ。
John had forgotten he had his nail clippers with him. He'd have to buy another pair soon, or he'd look
旅行に行きま
ridiculous.
しょう。やばいって、
When
なん
the
かバリ、
acceleration
何
of
こいつバリ
takeoff
生え
had
とんどやつ
slackened,
俺きっしょ。
John felt a sweet
きっ
relief.
しょ。
He had left his
いやい
worries
や、
on the
うわ
runway.
もう何
He was
何
up
やね
in
ん
the
このゲーム。
clouds, on his way to adventure.
トゲにも程があるやろ。ライオン
John's
や。
adventure had begun at last. And clearly, it was a small world after all, and also a flat one. That was going to piss off the globeheads.
え？めっちゃでかないこいつ。エクスプレスザワンダーズ。どういうこと？あ、これなんか別の生き物おる。何これ？猫？死んでる？あ、どうぞなんか落ちちゃった。13カ国いいけど。あ、ハリウッド。イエーイ。脱線しちゃった。わあ。北極熊。世界荒らしてるけどこいつ。おれい、エッフェル塔や。ビザのシャトーやったっけこれ。ダーン。これ何かわからん。お。日本。エビや。ああ。やばいやばい。やばいやばい。やばい。なんかインスタグラム投稿してる。Can we get なんちゃらって書いてる。やばい、中国潰してる。よっしゃ。金めっちゃ落ちと。オーストラリア批判しかされないインスタ。インスタよ。クリさんインスタはやってないの最近。これエジプトかな。スフィンクス。動物が全員なんかもうムーやねんけど。またお前かい。おれー、どっか行けー。どっか行けー。どっか行けー、お前。よし。なんやねん、次は。なんか食ってる。食った。これ潰す？いけた。ほら。right なんやねんで。トライプッティン this is your なんちゃら。マネー。マネーいっぱい溜まった。エクスペリエンスって何やったっけ？エクスペリエンスって何やった？貴重なとかやった、高価なやったっけ？お金何なったの？エクスペリエンス・ザ・ワンダーズ。お、あれやん。あれじゃん、女王の教室ちゃうわ。マザー・オブ・エクス、女王の女神、女神の女王、自由の女神。ロケット発射した。写真を撮れってこと？わけわからん。ビッグベン。あ、なるほど。やっぱ写真撮らなあかんのよ。
John was having fun, but something told him he needed to go home. Probably his empty bank account.
どっか行きよう。
John was on his way back home.
He
was out of money, but money can't buy love. What it can buy are the experiences that had made John a more interesting and developed person, with 100 Buttstagram photos to prove it. Finally, everything was going smoothly.
オンラインとかあったけどな。オンラインやる？
John felt good to be back on the familiar ground of.
リスタートチャプター。メインメニュー。オンライン。ホールドアップトゥコンセント。2、1、GO! お、なんかおる。これどれ？これどれ？やめてやめてやめて。俺どれ？俺どれ？俺は？俺どれ？俺どれやろう？全然わからん、やり方。ペンギンや。はい、何ですかこれ。オフラインムルティピン。デートナイト。トラディショナルモード。パーティーモード。パーティーモードしよう。またさっきのやつやん、これ。見ろ。セカンドプレイヤーおらへん。オプション。ストーリーしかやることないんかな。コンティニュー。
John was on his way back home. He was out of money, but money can't buy love. What it can buy are the experiences that had made John a more interesting and developed person, with 100 Buttstagram photos to prove it. Finally, everything was going smoothly.
お昼？ えらい遅いな。
John felt good to be back on the familiar ground of home, but he would feel better to be on the familiar mattress of home.
こっち？ああ、どれやろ荷物。
That's not John's bag.
誰のこれ？これか。離せ。離せ。ないやん。なんかキモいでしょう。チームで70円で売ってたゲームやか
Not
ら。
that one either.
謎ゲームすぎる。俺の荷物どこ？離れろ。係員死んでるやんもう。これに70円。そうよ。これに70円です。
John really loved it.
92% オフとかだ。もともと700円
It
と
took
か。
John back
い
to
や
his
めっちゃ
summer
血出
job
た。
picking
やばいやばいやば
cacti.
い。やばいやばい。
He hadn't gone
助け
back.
てー。助けてー。助けてー。車にロードザトランクウィズキャッティ多分ぐっやばいやばい痛い痛い痛いよし乗った乗った離れろ血がごっつ水色のかこれかこれでいいんかほんじゃはーいまだなんかおるよブシュなんであれみんなびっくりするブシュ最高やん何がやねん何がやねんカバン持っていきたいのよし違うのこれ違うってもう手いかないしもうこれでいいんちゃうどいて
Despite John's swell of fresh optimism, traveling was exhausting,
Catchy bus
and he
home.
just
Hi.
really wanted to get home and get some sleep.
マジで進み方わかりません。Go to the left, go to the right. はい。あれこれさっきやったぞ。プレス。Press A to pull from tip. Hide your locker. 僕のロッカーを探せ。これや。ラブレター入ってる。ハーロッカー、ハーロッカー。何？あ。 Will ever love you. ういきっしょー
Another nightmare. John's stress about getting a date for the reunion was making him think of her. Harmony. He hadn't seen her in years. Would she be at the reunion? John shook off the thought. He wasn't a child. He was a fully grown penis.
6 weeks until...
John, why is the bathroom barricaded? Foreskin's sake! Is that a swan? John had no idea how it had gotten into his home, or why it hated him so much. It would probably be best to leave it alone.
どうしたいん攻撃されてるこれ。やってくるとのハゲタコ。もうちょっとや。よし。何よ。ついてこんとって。よし。めっちゃ眠なるこのゲーム。さあ何をやればいいんですかあとは。
John's butt started to buzz. Had he left a vibrator up there?
何これ
Whatever it was, he should get it out.
虫や
John's old
なんかケツかなんか出て
phone.
き
They
た
really
俺
were indestructible. It was
何
Sam
これ
calling.
黒いの何電話邪魔
He wanted to check in on John.
電
The
話
travel looked fun, but it was so
だ
sudden.
から泣いてる
Was John okay? Sam was such a
仲間泣いてる
softie, always worrying about
助けに
feelings.
行かな
John had only one feeling, and it was the feeling of being awesome. He could drop Sam a text, but John was on a mission. The reunion was getting closer, and he had to get a date. Fortunately, John knew exactly where to find love.
寝てまいそうマジで眠いあ結婚式
John held his breath. He was about to meet his match. He had to reassure himself he could do this. He had a good job. He had nice stuff. He had traveled. He was ready to find love. On Weena,
お
where all his
Find the
sexy
perfect
travel
match.
photos would give him the pick of the pack.
おマッチングアプリやってるやん
Too skinny.
こいつワイナーウェイナー いい
Hot.
ねいいね
Sexy.
いいね
Very nice.
いいねは
Nice shaft. Very hot.
いめっちゃおもろいやんマッチングアプリすな
Worth a shot.
うい
Looks hot.
1 hour later 1年後まだやってんかいまだやってんかい Find the
The
perfect
pick of
match
the pack.
マッチせえへんかな Get any match 42歳 Many hour アワーって何時間後かあ、It's
John had the
match
pick of the pack.
イェーイ犬とマッチングしたアマンダ22歳アマンダ
John valued honesty
アマン
in
ダ
a
暴れ
date,
ん坊
but he had been expecting
ハ
a
エ
different
たかっ
kind
て
of
るけど
dirty.
何
A
こいつ
sexy and much more
何やねん
hygienic kind.
なんやねん、アマンダ。怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。なんすかマリア35歳。アイスクイ
John
ーン。
thought that getting circumcised once was enough.
マジで言うてる？どうやって滑んのそれ？俺もやる。うわ、バー飛んでった。あー。めっちゃおもろいこれ。どうやって立つの？俺も立ちたい。あかん。お、いけた。バリ血出とうけど大丈夫？うわー！ちぎれた！グロこいつら！えぐ！
Better put that on ice.
ちぎれた。
You okay,
先
John?
っちょ。
Chick sticks cars. I hope.
えぐ。ルーシー31歳。I love a pin with a sense
After
of...
the reattachment surgery, the doctors had told John to rest. So he did. For 6 hours.
チケットオフィス。おう。あ、なるほど。なんすか？あ、映画館行きましょう。はい。ファインドアシート。ひっくり返してるやんけ、お前。コンサートか。台無しにしたろ、今度は。
John was in stitches.
ジョン・オーバー。カーリン27。めっちゃ合うやん、こいつ。お、花持っていきましょう。あれ。
Karen had invited John straight over. She was not fooling around. Very exciting. And now she wanted him round the back.
どこ行くねん？えぐ！何これ？何してんのお
Karen
前
let
ら。
John know that the cake was only for the kids. So was the candy. And the piñata. And that she'd be back in 1
Look
hour.
after Karin's kids. カリンの子供を見ろ。どれやねん。マジわからん。クソゲーや。お前かい。メロディー24歳。I love beach picnics. おー、ビーチピクニック。あ、マイクどついてもた。お、
John laughed at Melody's hilarious bullfrog story. She was adorable. Everything was going perfectly.
めっちゃ嵐来るやん。えぐー。死んでんけど。お前だけ生き残ってんねん。いいんだ。
John never saw Melody again. So far, Weena had been a parade of weirdos and rejections. If this date didn't work out, John vowed to give it
もうええ
up.
か ?1 時間ぐらいやってほしい。
Maybe this time, maybe today
ミ
would
ー
be
トシャロー
his
ナ。
day.
シャローナ。バイバイ。
Sharona sighed
Bye-bye.
and said, "You'll do."
聖書持ってるやん。キリストかお前ら。
John felt a little underdressed and a lot overwhelmed. He was surrounded by strangers, and Sharona was glaring at the muscular groom. At least John hadn't missed out on the cake. John realized that Sharona had only brought him to create some penis envy. What a terrible plan.
ナイフあるナイフある。また切れるんじゃんこれ。えぐっ。
John got
ケツ
excited.
刺さってもだ
They
こ
were
いつ。
going to cut the cake.
俺にくれって
He's
それ。
mine! Sharona screamed as she launched herself at the newlyweds.
俺にくれ。
Suddenly, penises were up and yelling, "No,
Correct.
he's mine!" It was a no holds barred
Get to the
cockfight.
ヘックアウト。やばい。うわー、切れた、また。暴れた。やばい。また誰か切断されとう。やばい。2人ぐらい死んどう。こいつ犯人や。やばい。えぐ。
As John dodged flying
やばい、
glasses
死んで
and
る。
cake, he felt a stab of envy. The
助けね
groom
ば。
had dozens of
こい
penises
つや。
after him, and John had none. It was just wrong.
助けろ。切れた。なんか知らんけど俺切られへんな。グロ。えぐいぐらいグロい。どうしたらいいんや。うわ、また消えた。みんな生きてるし、そんでなんか。必勝。やめよう、このゲーム。はい。今回は、久々にクソゲーをやってみましたけど、クソゲーはクソゲーということですね。値段相応の無料でもやらないでしょうという感じのゲームでした。じゃあ皆さん、また配信でお会いしましょう。お疲れ様でした。あざした。